Hi, my name is Chris Kohlman, and I'm a teacher at Margaret Wooding School in the Prairie Rose School Division. And in partnership with the Medicine Public Library, we'd like to bring to you some games that you can either use with your students or at home if you actually have the game. Today what we're going to be talking about is Rory story cubes. These are a fantastic idea for storytelling and also for writing and literacy activities in your classroom. There's 4 different types of Rory story cubes out there. There's actually a few more, but I have 4 in my collection. I have the regular version, I have the voyages, I have actions, and I also just happened to pick up Rory Story Cube's Fantasia. I've used all of these with my students. It's been very successful, and let me show you what they look like and how you use them. Okay, so this is Rory Story Cubes, and again, this is a close-up of the dice that you would see. This is the original version of the game. One of the things I like about the game as well is the carrying case. It's quite small, and as you can see here, the carrying case is actually quite good. So this is the dice, and you can see here, I'm going to roll them here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to describe to you how you play the game. Now there's different ways to play the game, so I'll really talk about how I play the game with students. So you get, it's random, every time you roll it, there's so many different combinations that you can make a story with. So what I usually do with my students is I will start them off by picking a die, one of the die, and going through, and I always tell them the weirder the story, the funnier it's going to be. So I would do something like this. Once I was walking along when I stumbled across a magic turtle that asked me if I wanted to go for pizza. And then from there, I would have a student then talk about or pick a die, and then they would then add on to the story. And for example, they would say, and I did not plan this roll, so I'm kind of struggling a little bit to try to figure out a story. So I was walking along and I came across a turtle, that magic turtle that wanted to go for pizza with me, but he said, you know what? I'm gonna have to get you to order because I'm not really sure how to read. I just know how to look at pictures. That kind of made me sad because I've never met a turtle that didn't know how to read. I said, you know what? I have some time to teach you to read. Let's sit down and learn to read before we go have pizza. So, and then you can keep going from there. You know, I'm just making something up right now, but there's a lot of different combinations that obviously you can choose. And kids start to giggle and laugh when it gets kind of silly and stuff like that. One of the things that I really work on with them is if they just say, and then there was an arrow. Okay, well, how does that relate to the story? And then we'll kind of get them to work on that. And often what I'll do is I'll go back and have them start to retell the story. So let's go back to the story and let's kind of keep going like this. And you kind of ham it up a little bit, and the kids will kind of giggle and laugh and that type of thing. Now, again, that's one of the ways that I choose to play with students. You can have, when you're playing with adults or something, there is a way to play that they just take the whole entire story and just do it themselves. I like to give the kids turns and build on the story with each student kind of doing it. And you probably only want to use about 4 or 5 kids so that they get a couple of turns. But also too, one of the things that you can do in a classroom is, if I was to use this, I would actually use a weekly kind of an extra credit or just a challenge writing assignment where I say, okay guys, here's the roll, and I would roll the die and say, okay, make a story based on all these cubes, and you can do that. Now that we're living in the age of COVID and we are having to do the distance model, I would maybe even just take a snapshot of a roll and post it online and challenge my students to make a weekly story based on that and share those stories along. So there's a lot of different possibilities that you can either use with writing or oral language. As I mentioned, there's other different Rory story cubes. These are a couple of the examples from the actions, and you can see here they're all different types of things. That's somebody with some type of a beaker of some type, or a flask I should say, and this one here, he's obviously crying. This is someone listening to a present, something inside a present, a right turn. So there's lots of different variations, and you can mix and match dice from different sets as you choose. So yeah, that's Rory Story Cubes. Fantastic game, fits in your pocket, and I'd highly recommend it for a classroom or just with any type of family or that type of thing. Okay, well, thanks for watching. I've been showing you Rory Story Cubes today. So on behalf of the Medicine Public Library and the Prairie Rose School Division, I'm Chris Kohlman. Thank you for watching.